Hello and welcome back to Mayster Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about She Said, starring That's What. This film covers the Harvey Weinstein case of 2016, published by the New York Times, and the two reporters who worked on the case and tried to gather women on the record to come forward, and I think this essentially, in a way, kicked off the whole Me Too movement. I might be wrong with that, but I think it did at the time. And the performances here are fantastic. The tension is great. And it's well paced, as in we understand what's going on at the right times, and we are not bored. We are constantly engaged. Well, at least I was. There are two downsides I would say to this film that are quite evident, and a major plus. One, yes, is its engagement. The fact how in such a basic, drab, for the most part, newspaper headquarters setting, it's so engaging. It's the same way Wolf of Wall Street achieved that, how a lot of its setting was in that office and yet you were completely engaged the entire time. It's the same way that's done here. Its two downsides, though, are evident to me. One is that I feel that the film has a very abrupt and arguably poor ending. It ends incredibly suddenly, and I guess that's supposed to say that you know what happens after the article was published, but it ends on the article being published with no aftermath. Like, literally, it getting published is the end. You don't find out the aftermath or the public reaction or anything. So, to me, there's no resolution or ending there. It kind of ended abruptly at the end of the climax. And to that end, I think the latter parts of the film were quite weak. My second gripe with it is I think it was far too preachy. I feel as if Call Jane wasn't earlier this month in film. And that whereas Call Jane knew how to get the message across, She Said does it quite bluntly. And in doing it quite bluntly, I mean chucking in a bar scene where the reporters get harassed. I'm not gonna lie and get just heckled and cackled or whatever. The fact how people are still using these bog standard, basic, run-in-the-mill, stereotypical scenes to get a point across is beyond me. Everyone knows that this happens. And the amount of times it's been shown outright or alluded to in shows and films and media in general is ridiculous. It's so tired in a film that is actually quite intellectual and mature and very well spoken. It was a very amateur turn during the film, and especially when you've got anonymous calls giving them death threats. That was very mature, and I think it was supposed to be sort of you could relate to the characters, the reporters, and as women what they were going through themselves, so therefore how they could relate to the case that they're doing. You can do that through ways as I've just described. You don't have to have a stereotypical scene of them getting bothered in a bar. You can have people ringing them out of the blue, anonymous callers, making threats against their lives. And that is so much more powerful than just a scene of a guy in a bar trying to get with him. It does it so much better, and I don't see why they thought it was to be included. It was just really. It was very novice to me, and a very tired scene that we've seen a million times before, and in that case, not done as well. But it did show anger. The only good part of that scene was it did show anger of the reporters and the release of emotion, and the performances there were really good. But yeah, aside from being too preachy and having a pretty poor ending, it was an engaging time that did fascinate me and met multiple occasions. And it was all in all, it was a quite solid film. So yeah, that is my review of She Said, and the next film will be the last one of the month, Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical. I'll see you all then. Goodbye.